Hi, my name is Mary Millerano. I am a volunteer for the Business Advocacy Committee for the Campbell County Chamber of Commerce. Today I am visiting with Representative Eric Barlow, who is running for re-election for the office of House District 3. Thank you for joining us today, Representative.
Thank you.
We have a few questions for you. The first is, what do you feel are the key responsibilities of the position?
Well, thank you, Mary, and thank you to the Gillette Chamber for this opportunity. You know, when you're a representative, in my view, and I've done it for 8 years now, that's what I do. I listen to the constituents, the citizens that live in my district and our broader community. And this community, House District 3, is southern Campbell County, eastern Converse County, including all of the town of Wright, much of the town of Douglas, and all of the rural homes and subdivisions, if you will, south and west of Gillette. So I listen to those folks. So it's a lot about energy. What are their concerns about the energy industry, coal, oil, gas, and uranium too, I might add. Agricultural issues, just flat out regulations, what are things people dealing with. So my job is to represent their interests, and I try to listen in the community about what's going on in the community, reach out to them individually, and many times I get direct emails, calls, etc., and we talk. I say, what's the problem? Is it a problem? How do we fix it? What's your suggestion? So that's what I think my role is to listen, build relationships, and then make changes that are meaningful for the citizens of my community and all of Wyoming.
Wonderful. What can the state do to hold steady or decrease the cost to ensure sustainability for business, if anything?
Well, business is the backbone of our state. Certainly that provides, you know, the jobs that our families need to want to continue to live here. It provides so much that what the state does is provide a framework, a regulatory framework, opportunity framework, whether it's economic development, which you're very familiar with, all those things, so the state can help catalyze some of those things and stay out of the way. Staying out of the way is probably what most people would say is most important. That's what I hear. But also there's times when we can step up and be helpful. Right now, as you know, we received $1.25 billion in CARES money. And the legislature had a special session, we're trying to pump that money out to help sustain those businesses that were negatively impacted by the coronavirus pandemic and had mandatory shutdowns and things that, you know, nobody would have anticipated 3.5 months ago, you know. So that's what the state should be doing. Staying out of the way and helping when we can make a positive difference for our business community.
Wonderful. What process would you use to determine how SLIB, the State Land Investment Board, money is distributed?
So SLIB is the State Land and Investment Board, as you mentioned, and that's made up of the 5 top elected officials. So these are the folks that have that state perspective. And the legislature appropriates money to them, often through the Wyoming Business Council, which you're very familiar with. And the Business Council is kind of the state business incubator, that's kind of the one that says, you know, what good ideas do communities have? How do we prioritize them? And we send money out to them. So I guess the biggest thing is, one, we have to have the funds to help them. So that's the most important thing. The legislature is the appropriators. We designate where money goes. 2, we have to give the SLIB board, the 5 statewide, some guidance saying, you know, what are the priorities that the legislature would like this money spent on? Is it, you know, business recruitment? Is it business expansion? Businesses are already here that want to go, you know, build an international market or whatever. You know, what are those priorities? And so we, you know, give them some guidance, and certainly we take feedback from both the business owners who are telling us, hey, we need this or this would be helpful, and from the SLIB board who says, you know, this isn't working out quite like we wanted. Let's change it. Let's adjust it. And the local economic development folks, you know, they're all part of this discussion. So I don't know that I would change anything, but I think we got to listen to the evolving discussion to make sure that the resources we put and the opportunities we have make a difference for Wyoming and make a difference for business opportunities for the folks that want to do something different or something new.
Great. And so is there anything you would like to discuss that we didn't touch on? And if there is anything that you would like to, you have 1 minute to talk about what you would like to talk about.
Look, well, it's been a pleasure to serve in the Wyoming legislature for 8 years. In that time, I think I've built the relationships here and across the state. I've worked to understand the issues that are important to my community and to other folks in the other parts of the state. And with those two things, I think I can continue to be effective. Effective as a legislator, as a policymaker for our community and for the state of Wyoming. So there's lots of issues. There's no question. Everybody has an issue. But there's also a way to do it, a process, and I believe that I bring that experience to the table that'll help solve problems.
Wonderful.
For Wyoming.
Thank you for visiting with us today, Representative. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary.